This is RTV6 News at 5:30, working for you.
And now at 5:30, it's all about safety, whether it's college or kindergarten, what students at one local college can expect when they return. A new life for the site of the old Navistar plant on the city's east side, what the new owners want to bring to the neighborhood. Dan.
Here's what's topping our lineup this Tuesday. Barbershops play an important role in the Black community, and the conversations are changing. How barbers are addressing mental health. Some colleges are reducing their tuition as classes go online for the fall, while even more may be feeling the pressure to do it now. And there's a new group getting advice from infectious disease doctors that's trying to make dating safer during the pandemic. Now they say you should protect yourself while making these connections.
First at 5:30, Indiana's public and private colleges are all looking at ways to reopen their campuses in this coronavirus world. In Johnson County, Franklin College just released its 20-page safety plan to welcome students by the end of the month. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez shares those details.
As Franklin College prepares to begin a new semester, it's opening its doors under the plan called Fortify Franklin. It will involve increased disinfecting. 24 sanitation stations are in place campus-wide, and a mask is required on campus.
How do we mitigate, minimize the threat of infection on campus while we go about doing the business of what we do?
President Kerry Prather says most internships and most extracurricular activities will be done online. Sports like football and soccer have been moved to the spring, and visitors must comply with all campus requirements.
The preparation ahead of time and the ability to be flexible as we go. The external conditions are going to dictate some of how our plan has to be adapted, even from the point of the return of students on.
Just like we're seeing in elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, college is no different. As you can see behind me, it'll be one student per desk. The goal, social distancing.
The rules also apply to the college's namesake, Ben, who's busting out a mask in Old Main. Historically speaking, making a public declaration that independence comes with responsibilities.
Rather than fight the illness, we've got to figure out how to peacefully coexist. So the fact is, there's no such thing as zero risk. I think we have mitigated every possible risk that we can. But under normal circumstances, there's no such thing as zero risk.
Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And the college is also taking a number of other steps. 8 a.m. classes will begin at 7:45 to allow for the cleaning of classrooms. The state's 30 private colleges have posted their plans on their websites. Dan.
The CDC is sounding the alarm on the return of a disease that mostly impacts kids. Although uncommon, acute flaccid myelitis has recently peaked every 2 years between August and November. The CDC is warning healthcare providers to watch for a possible outbreak this year. AFM can lead to permanent paralysis or serious complications. The CDC is urging doctors to know the symptoms and hospitalize patients quickly. The conversation around wearing different protective gear is expanding, in particular, face shields. Teachers recently asked the top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, about it. Here's what he had to say.
And they were saying that several of them feel that in the classroom it's better that they would be wearing a face shield. And they asked me what I thought about it. And I said, you know, if you can get one, it's not a bad idea.
Dr. Fauci went on to say, though, that a shield shouldn't necessarily be worn in place of a mask, but more parents are considering the option for kids.
For some of the kids, the mask just isn't going to work. And in those cases, a face shield can be considered. But I think it needs to be understood that that's not the default.
Infectious disease experts say there just isn't enough data on how much protection a face shield provides. One study found it did significantly reduce the number of inhaled droplets. But cloth masks are also about protecting others. Shields, we're not so sure to do that as well.
If you are wearing a shield, the respiratory secretions that might be coming from your mouth or nose are not going to be as well contained.
In the healthcare setting, face shields are used primarily to prevent splashing in the eyes. Dr. Milani offered this advice about finding the right shield.
It's important that it's long enough to really protect the whole face and that it wraps around fully. and that it fits well up at the forehead.
Companies including Apple, Nike, GM, and John Deere have all started producing face shields. In a JAMA Network Open Viewpoint, it was pointed out that face shields have some advantages over masks. They can be reused indefinitely, they are easier to clean, and they are comfortable and help prevent touching of the face. Still in our lineup, barbershops play an important role in the Black community, and the conversations are changing.
I think beyond the conversations of the racial revolution that we're in, is really like, how do people have a quality of life?
How barbers are getting involved in boosting that quality of life by addressing mental health.
The site of the old Navistar International plant on the city's east side has new owners with plans to bring new business to the neighborhood. Ambrose Property Group announced plans today to redevelop the 90-acre site on Brookville Road into a new logistics park. Construction is expected to begin late this year. Navistar ended operations in 2015 and it was demolished in 2018. An Ambrose executive said the plans are to redevelop the property as a hub for manufacturing and logistics businesses. Dan.
There are new details on the White House plan for COVID-19 testing in nursing homes. The Trump administration wants to only supply enough tests for a few initial rounds. That goes for both staff as well as residents. A national organization called Leading Age estimates the weekly cost of testing employees could be between $19,000 and $38,000. The Trump administration says nursing homes could cover some costs by pulling from a $5 billion pot. Both the pandemic and conversations about race happening now are shining a light on mental health. 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year. Only 1 in 3 Black adults who need mental health care are getting it. The reasons range from socioeconomic disparities like access to health insurance to the stigma in the Black community around getting this care. Another issue, the latest numbers from the American Psychological Association show 4% of psychologists in the U.S. are Black. One group is trying to help by opening up the mental health conversation at the barbershop.
I think a lot of these guys have, they've been going to the same barber since they were maybe 5 years old, or they maybe only went to a couple of barbers in their whole life. And so it's their relationship.
Lorenzo Lewis is the founder of the Confess Project. They're training barbers to become mental health advocates. That training includes learning active listening, positive communication, validation, and stigma reduction. Lewis says the barbershop is a good place for this because it's really the only place in the Black community, besides the church, where everyone from all socioeconomic backgrounds come. And they visit more frequently than they would their own doctor. He says he recognized the need for mental health help among Black men, but saw it wasn't accessible to them. He's hearing conversations in barbershops change, especially now with the issues the Black community is facing.
So I think if nothing else, it is more of a preparation conversation around life success, in which we know that when individuals are successful at life, career, health, and their relationships, that they will have a quality mental health.
The mental health training for barbers is being offered in some cities in person, or you can take the virtual course. You can sign up at theconfessproject.com. More to get to in our lineup. Some colleges are reducing their tuitions as classes go online for the fall. What some students are doing if schools aren't making cuts. A recent survey shows 93% of college students feel tuition should be reduced this semester since most classes will be held online. Students around the country have started to sign petitions demanding this. Alicia Nieves shows us which colleges have listened and what students are saying they'll do if others don't.
Most universities have confirmed classes will be online this semester.
I feel terrible by, this one semester taking that I have to pay the exact same amount as I would by getting a whole college experience.
Gabrielle Perez is a junior at Michigan State University and is one of many college students demanding lower tuition with online classes. She's even started a petition at her school.
We're at a Big Ten school. I'm paying for a Big Ten school. You're not getting the Big Ten experience.
Currently, Michigan State University has only committed to a, quote, tuition freeze, keeping tuition the same as the previous 2 years. But around the country, other higher education institutions have reduced their tuition, some by 10 to 15%, while one, Southern New Hampshire University, is now offering incoming freshmen full tuition scholarships for the first year and slashing the price for everyone else.
You can't talk about prices or what institutions charge students without talking about costs. And in many cases, these costs are actually rising.
Denisa Gandara is an assistant professor of educational policy and leadership at Southern Methodist University and says many higher education institutions are reluctant to reduce tuition because of additional costs this year, like the cost for remote learning equipment, training instructors to teach remotely effectively, and higher health insurance premiums.
I imagine institutions are still looking at their numbers and trying to decide whether they do need to lower their prices.
Because the fear is students will drop out or take the semester off. Some have threatened that in their petitions.
You have so much time to go back to college anyways. This one semester or maybe whole year is not going to define you.
In fact, some financial experts like Calvin Williams Jr., CEO of Freeman Capital, are encouraging some college students to reconsider attendance at a four-year institution and consider going to a community college for a semester or two where the tuition is already drastically lower.
Going down the community college first route for at least a COVID time like this, it will allow you to save money on tuition, of course, on room and board, and you'll have a lot of flexibility in the next year or two when you could transfer to a 4-year, carry those credits, but carry less debt.
I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
And there is another opportunity to pick up a free gallon of milk. Weather permitting, Prairie Farms will be at Franciscan Health Mooresville tomorrow afternoon. It's a way to say thank you to the healthcare providers and public who have supported their efforts during the pandemic. They plan to give away 1,250 gallon jugs of 2% milk on a first-come, first-served basis tomorrow from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. Since June, Prairie Farms has donated more than 7,500 gallons of milk to Franciscan Health employees and the public in Indianapolis and Mooresville. And on Thursday, families can stock up on food at a mobile pantry at Anthem headquarters in downtown Indianapolis. Fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, and other staples will be distributed from 10 to 2. Anthem is teaming up with Gleaners Food Bank for the event. Kevin.
And Amanda, you mentioned weather permitting tomorrow. The weather will permit anything you want to do. Beautiful day outside. We've got a mixture of clouds and sunshine right now across central Indiana. I show you the radar, not because we're anticipating any rain this evening, but we've had a decent amount of cloud cover. The only showers have popped up in the southeastern portion of the state. The clouds will begin to fade away. Let me just show you Isaias quickly rotating through New England, the northeast states, and will be out of the picture before too long, but winds are still 65 miles per hour, so still technically a tropical storm. But you can see New York City, Philadelphia, those areas have cleared from the steady, heavier rain. As far as what we see this evening, the clouds that you have out your window now will fade away, and that will set the stage for a very un-August-like night. Temperatures are headed into the 50s, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we have a couple spots that will drop into the 40s. That wind is northwest. Once the sun sets or is lower on the horizon, these winds will generally be 5 to 10 miles per hour, and the sky will clear. Temperature 73 in Peru, only 72 right now in Tipton. 84 is your average high this time of year, still in the 70s to the south and west. As we go through the evening hours, again, the sky will clear, wind will calm down a bit, already poised to drop into the 50s by 11 o'clock tonight. The other thing I haven't mentioned so far is that tremendous difference in the humidity level. Remember yesterday, this time we had these torrential downpours because of the high humidity. Now the humidity's gone and temperatures will really be able to stretch out. Tomorrow morning, you probably, if you open your windows tonight, let some of that fresh air in, you'll end up closing them by morning because temperatures will be too cool. 50 in Lafayette, temperature in Indy 52. The record 1 degree cooler than that, set in the early 1970s. 75 tomorrow. The warming trend is steady and will be significant by the time we get to the weekend. We'll be back with the humidity and temperatures in the upper 80s by Sunday. During the day tomorrow, lots of sunshine in the morning. Then the fair weather cumulus clouds will pop up in the afternoon. Temperature hits 75. That's in Indy. There really won't be much of a temperature range across all of central Indiana. The wind will be light. Thursday, we take another step closer to the 80-degree mark with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. That 7-day planner, temperatures back into the upper 80s Sunday and Monday. Thunderstorm chances return, but that's really the second half of the weekend and into early next week. Enjoy this beautiful stretch.
With baseball, basketball, and hockey finally back underway, we can say sports are a thing again. And so are the associated memorabilia people buy. But this isn't about searching for the newest jersey of your favorite player. It's something much smaller. We take a look at how sports cards have made a comeback in the most expensive of ways. They are no more than 8 square inches. 8 square inches of nostalgia, preserved in plastic.
It's just fascinating to watch how much people are actually spending on this stuff.
And worth about as much as the home they are stored in.
Reggie Jackson autograph, Ozzie Smith. I've got some Fernando Tatis autographs. Got 2 of those.
To say Mike Lockwood is a sports card collector would be a disservice.
That's a 1-of-1 Prism rookie card. Ronald Acuna, those are good cards. Those are fun ones.
A disservice to the fanaticism it takes to acquire an array quite like his.
It was a way to spend time and look forward to doing stuff.
It's really fun. It's like really fun to see like what you get and like be surprised.
A project manager for a retirement company by trade, Mike only got back into collecting once quarantine started, and he quickly found out.
The prices have gone up so much.
Found out he wasn't the only one.
2 weeks ago, when I bought it, I was paying based upon its value being $4,500.
Yeah.
That's 2 auctions that ended this morning on the same card.
What?
Wow.
In 2 weeks, it's appreciated $2K? That's Mike Fruitman. He owns a sports card shop in Colorado and says the last 4 months have been the 4 highest grossing in his 29 years of business.
When you buy a card of a player, it's like buying stock in a company. And if there's a tsunami that affects Apple, you're going to see their stock depreciate one day. If they come out with the Apple 13 iPhone and it's the best phone and it cures whatever, the stock is going to go up. And you're seeing much the same thing in sports cards.
Remember that sale he was just talking about? It was for this LeBron James rookie card, which saw its value increase from $4,500 to $6,500 in 2 weeks. Same with Kobe. In December, one of his cards was selling for $2,325. The day after his death, a month later, that same card sold for $6,800. Sports card guru Rich Miller says it's something that's been gaining steam since fall and only exploded once COVID hit as a way for people to fill the void sports left.
A lot of the cards are selling for a lot more money than game-worn jerseys and things like that, and I think it is a commodity.
And it's not just fans, but investors who don't even like sports. Consider this. Bol Bol is a rookie basketball player for the Denver Nuggets. In June, before the new NBA season started, his card was trading for less than $2. Then, a few weeks ago, he posted 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks in a scrimmage game. And the price shot up to more than $50 overnight.
Bol Bol autograph. I got that, I don't know, out of some break that I spent I don't know what it's worth now, but yeah, I have a Bol Bol autograph. Should sell it right now.
Mike will consider his options as he instills the passion in his son, Jake.
So I really like this Alvin Kamara rookie memorabilia signed card. This one, I just like it because it solely looks good. And my dad got me this Christian Okoye card.
Looks like he's off to a hot start. Finally in our lineup, people are still online dating right now. We have the safety tips experts say you need to know. It's never too late to find love, even in a pandemic. One couple in Arizona is ringing wedding bells after being quarantined together for months at a retirement community. The two say it was love at first sight. Neither had planned to marry again, but their connection was undeniable.
When you get up to be my age, at my advanced age, you know when someone of quality comes into your life.
The two eloped in secret and revealed the news to friends and family over Zoom, but they say nobody was surprised. And there's still no telling when we'll return to the old normal here in the United States, but that's not stopping people from dating and trying to meet new people online. Most online daters are doing their part to stay safe.
Video is very strong at assessing appearance and personality. There's no reason to meet up with someone if a simple 2 or 3 minute video chat can disqualify them.
The Meet Group, which owns several social networking apps, expects people to continue to video chat before going on a date in person, even after the pandemic. But the company has also noticed a need to help online daters make healthier decisions. So it's created the Safer Dating Advisory Board. The first thing these health experts suggest is that daters be honest with one another.
Talk about comfort level with in-person interactions with potential dates. Talk about your normal activities in your day-to-day life. So let your potential partners know if you work from home, whether you live in a multi-generational household.
Both people should assess their own risk and whether they feel comfortable with in-person dating. People should listen to local orders, especially if they live in an area with a high number of cases. If daters do choose to go out, they should meet outdoors, wear a mask, and if they are meeting a lot of people, they should get tested and try to reduce the number of people they're meeting. We've told you before about how half of the businesses listed on Yelp that shut down during the pandemic never plan to open again. Tomorrow, meet two women who defied the odds in a different situation before. They'll share why they're going to do it a second time, even though so many others can't.
Well, it's comfortable right now, and it will be a beautiful evening. Should be good-looking sunset as the clouds start to melt away as we get closer to that 9 o'clock hour. Temperatures during the day tomorrow, they start cool, they'll end mild. By the time we're late morning, lots of sunshine. 68 will be the temperature. What happens in the afternoon? Just a few more fair weather cumulus clouds build. Temperatures will be in the 70s. We're in a little dry stretch here, and it will get warmer. If you want summer to return, all you need to do is wait a little while. More on that at 6. That's all for the news at 5, but more news starts right now.
This is RTV.